Hey there, how's it going? My name is Antlerboy and welcome to my Minecraft 1.16 survival world. This time we're kicking it off the way we normally do with yet another time lapse. I added a couple trees, which is pretty much established tradition at this point, and decided that the flower fields we built in the last episode weren't expansive enough, so I went ahead and added a few more. And I'm glad I did, because it looks absolutely fantastic with all the color, and isn't something too obstructive close to the castle. I want the castle to be towering above the village and the valley below, so flowers were the perfect thing to fill in the empty space beneath it. Building houses all the way up to the castle would make the mountain less imposing, so I'm glad I found something that looks great, but still falls in line with my vision for the final product. Overall, I'm super happy with the trees I built in this time-lapse. There still needs to be tons more covering the mountain, but there are only so many trees a man has the patience to build in one sitting. If you'd like to build trees like mine, I actually made a tutorial on my channel where I explain in depth how I build them. It's surprisingly simple with my method, so maybe give that a look later if you want to step up your landscaping skills to the next level. But for now, we gotta get started, so I will see you on the other side. Ladies and gentlemen, as the sun rises above our castle, we have some overdue beekeeping to attend to. And I talked about in the last episode that we were going to build a honeycomb farm, and I actually got started on gathering some resources. This is the first time we do anything technical in this series, so let me get ready and put my redstone hat on. Now that we're properly equipped and ready to go, I'd like to start interior decorating this house, and to get started, I'd like to actually place our automatic honeycomb farm right here in the basement. Honeycomb farms are surprisingly simple. I've prepared all the supplies we're going to need and some more in this box, and let me just get this space ready and we'll build this thing. I prepared a little bit of space right here, and this design is honestly very, very simple. We're going to be placing a dirt block right here. This is where our flower is going to go. For now, let's just place a temporary block, and on top of this one, we're going to want to place a dispenser. Then coming behind our beehive, we're going to want to be placing an observer, and on top of this observer, we're going to want another observer. And running across on top of the dispenser, we're going to want this redstone line. The point of this contraption is, of course, for this observer to observe when the beehive gets full of honey. This observer then observes what this observer has been observing. It's a lot of observing, okay? The redstone line activates the dispenser, which is going to be full of shears, and it shears the honeycomb. So I've built up 3 of these stations already, and the next step is going to be how we want to collect our honeycombs. And I'm going to want my collection chest right here. The next step is going to be putting a hopper line into our chest from under all of our beehives. The rest of this, I just realized, is pretty much dead space, so we're just going to be covering it up for now. I think it would be nice if we could actually see the farm running when we walk in here, so we're going to place glass in front of here. Hoppers going into the dispensers right here, and glass in between these modules. An important step I don't want to forget that'll make way more sense later is putting the water right here. Okay, so I'd like to put these beehives in, but as soon as I place them down, we're going to have bees everywhere. So to prevent that from happening, we're going to temporarily put some carpets down right here, and that will stop the bees from exiting the beehives, and we can place them down right like so. Let's just put the glass in so we can see what we're doing. I'll probably change this up a little bit later and put some more bricks in here, but for now, let's focus on getting this farm up and running. So first off, we're going to want to remove these carpets, and as soon as we do, we'll probably have some bees coming out to say hi. And if not, it's a perfect opportunity for us to hoe this land and place down some flowers. If you're wondering why I till the soil, it's actually because it lowers the block by 1 pixel. As you can see the top pixel layer of the bricks there. These bees are getting kind of loud. And that means that the hoppers below can actually pick up items on top, which is where the honeycombs are going to go when the beehives get dispensed. Okay, so I changed up what the front of the farm looks like a little bit. I think we're just going to leave our buzzy friends to do their things for now and continue with the episode, and we'll check later if we have some honeycombs. Now that I've been a busy bee and finished my redstone project, I can finally take my redstone hat off and get to some building. If you're watching this, then you've obviously read the title of this video, and you know that we're going to be building a lighthouse over there out on the pier. So for me, that means gathering a bunch of materials and getting ready to build this thing, but for you, that just means sitting back, relaxing, grabbing your snacks, and enjoying the time lapse. To start off, the back of this precipice has been missing for probably around 5 months, so the right thing to do is to finish this bit of terraforming before getting started with the main build. The entire mountain to the left over there is in dire need of attention, and I've already made plans for what's going over there in the future, which should be coming up in a few episodes, but all in due time, guys. I've been planning this lighthouse build since I built this part of the village, which was around the 1.16 release, and distractions have made me wait until now to make it, but I'm very glad I did. What you see me doing here is very familiar to the recurring viewer, just lushing up the cliffs, which I ended up doing a lot of in this one. The lighthouse itself is very much in my style that I've been going for in this kingdom, which is medieval, bordering on light fantasy, I'd say. I pretty much used the same palette as in my castle, except I switched the warped wood roof for dark prismarine. It's my favorite block in the game, and I had some from raiding a nearby ocean monument, so hey, I felt like using it. This was great fun to build, but it's taking me all my free time to prepare and create this content, so if you're feeling supportive, maybe tap the like button and tell me what you think down below. And hey, if this type of survival content that no sane person would do outside of creative mode is appealing to you, maybe consider subscribing, since that's what I do on this channel. For the actual light inside the lighthouse, I ended up using Soulfire for no other reason really than that I haven't used it enough since 1.16 came out, and it really fit the color palette. I meant to put andesite walls between the cyan glass blocks, which I remember to do later, and it makes all the difference, but it's already coming together. Having this pristine lighthouse towering over the bay is just what's been missing. And I know I said earlier that there's a limit to how many trees one man has the patience to produce. Well, you can't stop me that easily. And I just felt like one was asking to be built right there. Lastly, I make a few minor changes to the Turtle Beach, and you get to see what the finished product looks like, this time with the andesite walls. Ladies and gentlemen, it's finally finished, and it has changed up the bay dramatically. It makes me really excited to start building some small boats and the harbor that's going to go in here. I also plan on building a church right up here, right where that beacon beam is pretty much, and in the same style, so I think this is going to turn out fantastic. But if you guys remember, we have something to check on. We need to check if our bees have been producing any honey. So this is the moment of truth. Have you been working the way we want you to? Oh yes, all right. I mean, obviously I only have 3 of these little farms, so it's not producing all that much. I will probably come around and build another few modules right here, but this is fantastic. This is a great start, because I am building for hours around here when building these large projects, so it's just gonna be producing honey all the time, and this is gonna be great. We really need to get started on the interior of this lighthouse and make it light up so the windows actually show some light, but this actually has the intended effect. We can see the light. I just threw some lanterns on some dirt blocks in there for now, and it makes such a huge difference. Like, what an atmosphere we can create with that blue fire. But ladies and gentlemen, I am totally out of time for today, so if you're here all the way at the end of the video, you're a champ, and I appreciate your existence. I really hope you liked this episode, and until we see each other next time, have a good one.